Have you ever wondered why, no matter how hard you try, things don't seem to happen the way you want them to? It feels like the more you chase after something, the further away it gets. I know, it's frustrating, the feeling of always trying, always pushing, and in the end, nothing. But what if I told you that the real key to attracting what you desire, especially a high-quality woman, isn't about forcing things but letting them flow? It's not about giving up, but understanding that what is meant for you will find its way to you. The secret isn't in constant effort, but in the art of waiting, being patient, and trusting. Stay with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to show you how Stoicism can transform the way you perceive and attract relationships. This is the moment to stop chasing and start attracting. You'll understand how small changes can make a big difference in your life. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel because I bring enriching videos every week, and don't forget to leave a like so that YouTube keeps showing you the next video. Now, let's get started. The first secret is to be authentic. Once I found myself thinking about how throughout life, we strive so hard to impress the people around us, especially when it comes to winning over a woman. I believe many of us have gone through this, moments when we worry too much about how we are perceived, trying to fit into an ideal we imagine to be attractive. But is this really the best approach? I've found myself acting in ways that, in retrospect, didn't reflect who I really am, all in an attempt to make a good impression. This made me question, what is more important, impressing someone or being authentic? The Stoics, like Seneca, teach us that it is wiser to trust in our own essence rather than get lost in attempts to please others. He said, "It is more shameful to distrust our friends than to be deceived by them." This thought resonates deeply when applied to the context of relationships. In other words, instead of worrying so much about how we will be judged or whether we will be accepted, we should focus on being who we truly are. After all, it is authenticity that truly attracts the right people into our lives. How many times have you found yourself meticulously planning what to say or how to act to impress a woman? I've certainly been through that. We create scenarios in our minds, rehearse conversations, and even mold our personalities to appear more interesting. But the truth is, this rarely works in the long run. It might initially attract some attention, but over time, it becomes clear that we are not being genuine. And what happens when we are not authentic? The answer is simple. We attract people who are not really interested in who we are, but in who we seem to be. This creates a vicious cycle, where we continue to play roles, trying to maintain an image that is not ours. This is exhausting, both for us and for the other person. Emotional wear and frustration are inevitable, as the mask we wear starts to weigh us down, and maintaining this facade becomes unsustainable. When we let go of the need to impress and start being authentic, something incredible happens. The right people begin to appear, and the relationships that form are based on who we truly are. Authenticity creates a real connection, where both feel comfortable being who they are, without masks or games. This is where true intimacy arises, one that is built on mutual trust and respect. I remember a time when I met someone and, instead of trying to impress, I decided to just be myself. Without worrying about seeming perfect or saying the right things, I was authentic, and to my surprise, it was the best thing I could have done. The conversation flowed naturally, without that pressure of trying to be something I wasn't. And the most interesting part? She felt comfortable doing the same. There was no need to impress, because we were both comfortable in our own skin. Seneca reminds us of the importance of trusting in our own essence. When we trust in who we are, we emit an energy that is impossible to ignore. This doesn't mean we should be complacent or careless, but rather that we should value ourselves for who we really are, and not for what we think others want us to be. Being authentic also has another incredible benefit. It saves us a lot of headaches. When you are true to yourself, you don't have to worry about maintaining appearances or remembering all the lies or exaggerations you told to impress. Life becomes lighter, easier, because you are living according to your own values and principles, not someone else's. And when it comes to relationships, this is even more crucial. Women, like anyone else, can sense when someone is pretending. They may not be able to pinpoint exactly what's wrong at first, but eventually the truth always comes out. And when that happens, disappointment is inevitable. But if you are authentic from the start, this concern disappears. The connection you create is genuine, based on who you really are, not an idealized version of yourself. I invite you to reflect on this. The next time you find yourself in a situation where you feel the need to impress, stop for a moment and think, do I really need this? Am I being true to myself? If the answer is no, perhaps it's time to reconsider your approach. And speaking of reflection, I'd like to propose an exercise. Write in the comments, "I choose to be authentic." Let's see how many of us are willing to set aside this need to impress and embrace authenticity. Remember, true attraction doesn't come from what you do to impress others, but from who you are when you are true to yourself. In the end, being yourself is the most powerful way to live and relate. Because when you are authentic, you attract people who truly care about who you are, not the image you project. And that, my friend, is what really matters. So let's go down this path together. Be authentic. Choose authenticity in every moment, in every interaction, and watch as your life and your relationships flourish in ways you never imagined possible. If you want to have a successful life and achieve your goals without procrastinating, I invite you to click on the first pinned comment and check out my ebook, Overcome Procrastination with Stoic Philosophy. This book is helping many people eliminate procrastination and lack of focus once and for all. Click now on the link in the first pinned comment and don't miss this opportunity, because soon I will be taking it off the market. Now that we've already talked about the importance of being authentic, I want to invite you to take the next step in this journey of self-knowledge and personal development, because, honestly, authenticity is just the beginning. True transformation begins when we decide to improve ourselves. And this is where the magic really happens. Remember that time I talked about stopping the need to impress and being authentic? Well, this directly connects with what we're going to discuss now. When we choose to be authentic, we start to see the areas where we can improve, not to impress others, but to become the best version of ourselves. And believe me, when you start to better yourself, the right people, those who truly matter, are naturally drawn to you. I remember a time when I felt stuck, as if I were trapped in a repetitive cycle. I knew I needed to change, but I didn't know where to start. Then I recalled the words of Epictetus, another great Stoic thinker. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This phrase was a real turning point for me. I realized that to attract what I truly wanted in life, I first needed to work on myself. And here's the key. Improving yourself doesn't just mean focusing on your appearance or external achievements. Sure, taking care of your body, seeking knowledge, and reaching goals are important. But true transformation starts from within. It's about working on our thoughts, attitudes, and most importantly, our actions. I invite you to think about an area of your life that you would like to improve. It could be how you handle stress, how you communicate, or even your self-confidence. Choose something that really matters to you, something that makes sense on your journey. When you start working on these areas, not only do you become a better person, but you also become someone who attracts quality people into your life. Can I share a personal story with you? There was a time when I felt insecure in relationships. I was always worried about being accepted, about pleasing others, and I ended up losing myself in the process. It was only when I decided that I needed to change that I started to see results. It wasn't easy. I had to face some hard truths about myself, but it was in this process of self-improvement that I found my strength. And eventually, people began to notice it. Suddenly, I didn't need to try to impress anymore. The right people started to approach me, not for who I was trying to be, but for who I really was. And here's the big lesson. When you commit to improving yourself, attractiveness is no longer a matter of luck or chance. It becomes a natural consequence of who you are becoming. People are drawn to those who exude confidence, who are at peace with themselves, and who aren't afraid to show their vulnerabilities. It's as if life starts to conspire in your favor. And this is something that can't be forced. It has to come from within. That's why working on yourself is so crucial, not just to attract other people, but to feel complete, regardless of who is around you. If you're still with me up to this point, I want to challenge you to take one more step. Think about a small change you can make today to become the version you want to be. It could be something simple, like dedicating a few minutes of your day to reflect on your thoughts or deciding to be more patient in a specific situation. These small steps, when repeated consistently, create a massive transformation over time. And to close this point, I want you to write in the comments, "I choose to improve myself." Let's once again share this commitment to our own evolution. Remember, improving yourself isn't about pleasing others, but about becoming the person you were destined to be. Just like with authenticity, self-improvement is a path worth taking. Every step you take toward a better version of yourself is a step toward a fuller life and healthier, more genuine relationships. Now that we understand the importance of improving ourselves, let's address a crucial aspect of this process: emotional control. After all, True growth is not measured only by external achievements, but also by how we deal with internal storms. You know those moments when everything seems to be falling apart around you, maybe a heated argument, a comment that hit you hard, or even a situation that left you feeling completely lost. In these moments, the way we react says a lot about who we are and, even more, about who we are becoming. I remember a situation where I lost control of my emotions. It was one of those moments when anger took over, and I said things I regretted immediately afterward. Perhaps you've been through something similar. The feeling of frustration and guilt that comes afterward can be overwhelming, but it's in these moments that we learn the importance of staying calm, taking a deep breath, and responding instead of reacting impulsively. The Stoics often spoke about the importance of self-control. They believed that by learning to control our emotions, we become truly free. And this is where true strength lies. It's not about suppressing what we feel, but about understanding and directing these emotions in a constructive way. I invite you to reflect on situations where you lost emotional control. What could have been different if, at that moment, you had kept calm? Believe me, I'm not saying this to make you feel bad, but so that we can learn together. Because the truth is, we all go through moments when emotions speak louder, but the good news is that we can learn to control them. And do you know what impact this has on our lives? When we manage to maintain composure, even in challenging situations, we show an inner strength that is admirable. The people around us notice this. They feel they can trust us because they know we won't be swept away by the heat of the moment, but will act with wisdom and consideration. Once, in a conflict situation, I challenged myself not to react immediately. Instead, I took a step back, breathed deeply, and allowed myself a moment of reflection before responding. The result? A conversation that could have turned into a fight ended up being resolved peacefully and respectfully. Not only did I feel more in control, but I also gained the respect of the person I was interacting with. This made me realize the power of a calm and composed reaction. And believe me, this is not something that comes naturally. It requires practice, patience, and above all, the willingness to improve every day. Controlling emotions is a daily exercise, but the fruits we reap are immeasurable. We begin to live with more tranquility, less stress, and with an unshakable confidence in our ability to handle whatever situation life throws at us. If you, like me, have ever found yourself overwhelmed by emotions, know that it's possible to change. No matter how difficult the situation is, you have the power to choose how to react. And this choice, this ability to remain calm even when everything around you seems to be falling apart, is what defines true strength. So, the next time you find yourself in a challenging situation, remember, strength doesn't lie in exploding or letting emotions take over, but in taking a deep breath, thinking before acting, and choosing the best possible response. This not only demonstrates maturity, but also attracts people who recognize and value this inner strength. And that's what really matters, because in the end, it's our ability to control emotions that sets us apart and allows us to live more fully and connected with who we really are. We talked about emotional control and the importance of staying calm in challenging situations. Now, I want to take you to think about something that goes beyond that, the idea of continuous improvement. Because controlling emotions is just a part of the process. True transformation comes when we decide never to stop growing. Have you ever wondered what differentiates people who seem to always be moving forward in life? Those who, no matter what happens, keep evolving? Their secret is simple. They never stop improving themselves. Continuous improvement is the path that leads to true success, whether personal or professional. I remember when I first started dedicating myself to personal development. At first, I thought it was enough to read a few books, learn some techniques, and that was it. I was done. But soon I realized it wasn't like that. Growth is a constant process, and each day brings a new opportunity to learn, to improve, to be a little better than we were yesterday. This means that, regardless of where you are in life right now, there is always room to grow. Maybe you want to develop new skills, learn something that has always interested you, or even work on aspects of your personality that can be improved. And this quest for improvement is not just to impress others. It's for you, so that you feel more complete, more fulfilled, and more confident. And this is where the real magic happens. When you dedicate yourself to continuous improvement, you not only attract quality people into your life, but you also become a source of inspiration for others. People notice the effort you put into yourself, and that motivates them to do the same. Think of a time when you decided to learn something new or improve a skill. Maybe it was challenging at first, But as you persisted, you started to see results. And those results, no matter how small, are what make the difference. They give you confidence, they push you to keep going, and before you know it, that area of your life that seemed stagnant starts to flourish. For example, there was a time when I decided I needed to improve my communication. Not because I felt incapable, but because I knew I could be even better. I started reading about it, watching videos, practicing daily, and gradually, I saw significant changes. Conversations flowed more naturally, people responded more positively, and I felt more confident in various situations. Continuous improvement is just that, one step at a time. It's not about transforming everything all at once, but about focusing on small changes that, over time, make a big difference. And the most incredible thing is that this process never ends. There is always something new to learn, something more to improve. And this, far from being exhausting, is what keeps life interesting and full of purpose. So I want to invite you to reflect. In which areas of your life would you like to keep growing? What can you do today to take another step towards your best version? Because, in the end, it's not about reaching a final destination, but about enjoying the journey of becoming a better person. Continuous improvement is the key to attracting quality people and living a full and meaningful life. When you commit to this process, not only do you benefit, but everyone around you does as well. And this creates a virtuous cycle, where your growth inspires the growth of others, and vice versa. So, keep going, keep improving, learning, growing, because every step you take brings you closer not only to the person you want to be, but also to the people you want to have by your side. And that is, without a doubt, one of life's greatest rewards. To reinforce this commitment to yourself, write "evolve" in the comments, so your brain starts to understand that you are determined to grow and transform. This simple action of writing "evolve" will serve as a daily reminder of your commitment to continuous improvement. Remember that personal growth is a process, and every small step counts. By maintaining this mindset, you will attract opportunities, people, and experiences that resonate with your new version, creating a fertile environment for even more evolution. So don't underestimate the power of words and intention. Write "evolve" now, and start building the path to the life you want to live. We're past the midpoint of the video. If you've made it this far, I ask you to leave a like, so I can bring content like this in the future. Keep following me in this video until the end, because what I'm going to share is something that few people know, but that makes all the difference in achieving truly impactful results. We talked about the importance of never stopping our growth, about how continuous improvement is the key to attracting quality people and living a life full of purpose. Now, let's touch on a point that is essential in this journey of self-development: taking responsibility. And here, I want you to understand that taking responsibility is not just about accepting the consequences of your actions, but also about taking control of your life, your choices, and your destiny. I remember a situation I experienced a few years ago where a mistake I made had rather serious consequences. The first reaction was to try to justify, find excuses, perhaps even blame other people or circumstances. But after reflecting, I realized that this would only prolong the problem. It was then that I decided to take full responsibility for what had happened. And you know what happened? That attitude completely changed the dynamics of the situation. Taking responsibility for our actions, without blaming others or circumstances, is a demonstration of character and maturity. And this is something that does not go unnoticed, especially by quality people, including women who are looking for a reliable and trustworthy partner. When you take responsibility, you are telling the world, I am in charge of my choices, and I am willing to face the consequences of them, whether they are good or bad. Imagine a situation where you are in a relationship and something goes wrong. It could be an argument, a communication failure, or even a decision that didn't go as planned. Instead of entering a spiral of accusations or trying to escape blame, you choose to look the other person in the eyes and say, I made a mistake, and I take full responsibility for it. This attitude, besides showing courage, creates a solid foundation of trust and mutual respect. And this trust is fundamental, not just for romantic relationships, but for all areas of life. When people know they can count on you to take responsibility, they trust you. And this trust is what builds strong and lasting relationships. I want to share a story I heard recently. A friend of mine went through a complicated situation at work. He was part of a team working on a big project, and a mistake happened that could have compromised all the work. At first, There was the temptation to pass the blame to someone else after all. He wasn't the only one involved, but he knew that if he did that, he would just be avoiding his responsibility. So he made a brave decision. He went to the boss and took responsibility for what had happened, even knowing that this could have negative consequences for him. The result? Instead of being reprimanded, he was respected. His boss appreciated his honesty and the courage to take responsibility for his actions, and this strengthened his position within the team. He could have chosen the easy way, but by opting for responsibility, he gained the respect of everyone around him. This makes me think about our own path of self-development. Taking responsibility for our actions and their consequences is an essential step in growing as individuals. And more than that, it is a reflection of our authenticity. Because when we choose to be authentic, as we discussed earlier, we also choose to be honest and transparent, both with others and with ourselves. So, if there's something we can learn here, it's that taking responsibility is liberating, not only because it frees us from the burden of trying to keep up appearances or hide mistakes, but because it gives us the power to correct the course and do better next time. And I want to invite you to reflect on this. When was the last time you took full responsibility for a situation, even knowing it could be difficult? And how did you feel afterward? I imagine that, despite the initial discomfort, there was a sense of relief and empowerment, because in the end, that's exactly what happens when we choose to take control of our lives. Now, once again, I want you to join me in a commitment. Write in the comments, I choose to be authentic and responsible. Let's show the world that we are ready to face the consequences of our actions, and that more than ever, we are committed to our growth and integrity. Remember, the path to a fulfilling life and quality relationships starts with responsibility, and this responsibility is a direct reflection of our authenticity, of our willingness to be honest, and to continuously improve ourselves. We talk about the importance of taking responsibility for our actions, which is essential for building a solid foundation of trust and respect. Now, I want to invite you to reflect on another equally powerful quality, the ability to adapt and be flexible in the face of life's unexpected events. The Stoics have always taught us that, although we cannot control everything that happens around us, we can control how we react to these situations. And it is precisely in this ability to adapt that we find one of the greatest strengths to face life's challenges. I remember a situation that completely changed the way I view adaptation. I had everything planned for a big project I was developing. Every detail, every step, was carefully mapped out. But, as often happens, life had other plans. Obstacles arose that I hadn't foreseen, and suddenly, that well-laid-out path seemed impossible to follow. At that moment, I had to make a decision. Either I let frustration paralyze me and allowed the unforeseen to dominate me, or I chose to adapt, be flexible, and find a new way to move forward. It was a tough choice, but I opted for the latter. And to my surprise, by opening myself up to new possibilities and adjusting my course, things started to fall into place in ways I never would have imagined. This experience taught me that flexibility is not a weakness, but a strength. It is the ability to adjust the sails in the midst of a storm, to find new paths when the original road is blocked. And this adaptability is something that those around us notice and respect. After all, we all go through moments when things don't go as planned. When we show that we are capable of handling these situations with calm and creativity, we demonstrate a resilience that is deeply attractive. The Stoics believe that the world is in constant change, and that our ability to adapt to these changes is what allows us to live a full and balanced life. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In other words, how we interpret and respond to challenges is what really counts. Imagine you are in a relationship, and something unexpected happens. A conflict, a change of plans, or even a crisis. How do you react? If you can adapt, adjust your expectations, and find solutions rather than focusing on problems, you not only demonstrate maturity, but also an inner strength that is admirable. And this, without a doubt, strengthens any relationship. But this adaptability applies not only to relationships, it is a vital skill in all aspects of life. Whether in work, studies, or personal projects, the ability to be flexible and adjust to what life presents to us is what differentiates those who move forward from those who remain paralyzed by obstacles. I want to motivate you to adopt this mindset. The next time you face an unexpected situation, ask yourself, how can I adapt to this? How can I turn this difficulty into an opportunity for growth? When you start to see the unexpected as chances to learn and evolve, you become invincible. Nothing can bring you down because you will always find a way to move forward. And don't forget, flexibility is a choice. A choice not to be shaken by circumstances, but to find a new perspective, a new path. This is what allows us not only to survive, but to thrive amidst adversity. So, if you haven't done so yet, I invite you to adopt this attitude in your life. Start seeing challenges as opportunities, and believe in your ability to adapt and overcome any situation. Because in the end, life is about how we handle the unexpected, and it is this ability to adapt that makes us stronger and better prepared for whatever comes next. Remember, being flexible doesn't mean bowing down to difficulties, but rather finding a new way to stand tall. And when you do this, you become an example to others, an inspiration of resilience and strength. Now that we've talked about the importance of adapting and being flexible in the face of unforeseen events, let's address a topic that we all face at some point in life: rejections. And what makes the difference is not the rejection itself, but how we choose to react to it. Rejections, no matter how painful, are inevitable. All of us at some point have been rejected, whether in relationships, at work, or in other aspects of life. But this is where the opportunity for growth arises. When we are rejected, we have two options. We can allow it to bring us down, or we can choose to learn from the experience, move forward, and continue improving. Rejections can seem like a hard blow, but they are often a sign that we need to redirect our efforts or rethink our approaches. And if we look at it from this perspective, each rejection is a disguised opportunity. It challenges us to reassess, to adjust, and to seek new ways to achieve our goals. It's common to feel an initial impact when we face rejection. Feelings of frustration or even inadequacy may arise. However, it is essential to remember that rejection does not define who we are. It is just part of the process of growth and evolution, and how we react to it can strengthen us, making us more resilient and determined. The Stoics teach us that what really matters are not the events themselves, but our interpretation and reaction to them. Epictetus said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our opinion about them." Applying this to rejections, we can see that true strength lies in how we choose to respond. Instead of letting it bring us down, we can use this experience as a tool to become even better. Rejections can be a catalyst for self-improvement. They teach us to be more persistent, to adjust our strategies, and to keep moving forward, even when things don't go as planned. It is in this persistence that we find the key to success, because by moving forward, we continue to evolve, to learn, and to get closer to our goals. The next time you face rejection, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to strengthen myself? When you adopt this mindset, rejections stop being obstacles and become steps that lead you to a new level. Moreover, the way you deal with rejections is observed by everyone around you. Demonstrating resilience and determination in the face of difficulties is an admirable quality, which attracts respect and admiration. It shows that you don't let yourself be easily defeated, and that you are willing to keep fighting for your goals. Remember, rejections are part of the journey, but they are not the end of the road. They are just opportunities to redirect, learn, and grow. And the more you face these situations with courage and determination, the stronger and more prepared you become for what lies ahead. So, keep moving forward, learn from every experience, and continue to improve yourself, because that's what truly matters. Not what happens to you, but how you choose to react and what you decide to do with the lessons you learn along the way. During this journey of self-development, we have already talked about rejections and the importance of how we react to them. Now let's focus on something that is often the real differentiator in our interactions: genuine interest and empathy. Showing genuine interest in another person is more than just listening to what they have to say. It's truly connecting with their emotions, understanding their perspectives, and valuing their experience. And this goes beyond any technique or strategy. When you demonstrate sincere interest, people feel it. They realize that you truly care, and that creates a connection that is difficult to break. Empathy, in turn, is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, to feel what they feel, and to respond from that place of understanding. It's not about agreeing with everything or solving someone else's problems, but about being present, listening with your heart, and offering genuine support. These qualities, genuine interest and empathy, are essential in any type of relationship, whether personal or professional. When you truly care about people, you create an environment of trust and mutual respect. And this type of connection is incredibly attractive because we all seek to be understood and valued. Imagine a conversation where, instead of just waiting for your turn to speak, you truly listen to what the other person is saying. Ask questions that show your interest and respond in a way that validates their feelings and perspectives. This attitude not only strengthens the relationship, but also demonstrates a level of maturity and sensitivity that is rare and therefore highly valued. Showing empathy and genuine interest doesn't mean agreeing with everything or avoiding necessary confrontations. On the contrary, sometimes it means being honest in a compassionate way, understanding the other person's point of view, and seeking solutions that benefit both parties. It is this balanced approach that builds lasting and meaningful relationships. When you apply empathy in your interactions, you create a space where people feel safe to be themselves. They know they can count on you, that their emotions will be respected, and that you are truly present. This not only attracts quality people, but also strengthens the bonds with those who are already part of your life. Moreover, empathy also helps us grow as individuals. By understanding the experiences and emotions of others, we broaden our own perspective, become more understanding, and, as a result, wiser. This personal growth is an invaluable benefit that comes from being truly present in interactions with others. And it's important to remember that genuine interest and empathy cannot be forced. They must come from an authentic place, from true curiosity, and a desire to connect. When you act this way, people notice, and that is what makes all the difference. This ability to demonstrate interest and empathy is one of the most powerful qualities you can cultivate. It not only enriches your relationships, but also transforms you into someone that people really want to have around. We have reached the end of this journey of reflection and self-development. We have discussed how to be authentic, continually improve, control emotions, take responsibility, adapt to situations, deal with rejections, and show genuine interest and empathy. Now, I want to invite you to take a step further, to turn these ideas into concrete actions in your life. The Stoic principles we have explored here are not just theoretical concepts. They are practical guides that can transform your life if you are willing to apply them. And this transformation begins with a choice. The choice to take responsibility for your own growth and to attract quality people into your life. I know this journey can seem challenging, but I want you to remember one thing. The power to shape your life is in your hands. You have the ability to decide how you will react to adversity, how you will improve yourself, and how you will connect with others in a genuine and meaningful way. And to solidify this commitment, I want to invite you to write in the comments, "I choose to be the best version of myself." Let's share this decision with everyone around us, creating a chain of motivation and mutual support. Because when we commit to grow, to learn, and to apply these principles in our lives, we are not just improving ourselves, we are creating an environment where everyone around us can also flourish. Remember that every little action counts. Every time you choose to be authentic, decide to improve, maintain control in difficult situations, take responsibility, adapt, overcome rejections, and show empathy, you are taking a step towards the life you desire. If this content inspired you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss any more valuable tips. And of course, share your thoughts in the comments below. I want to know how you plan to apply these principles in your life and what challenges you are facing on this journey. Remember, the power of transformation is in your hands. This is your life, and you have the control to shape it the way you want. Let's go together on this journey of growth and self-development, attracting all the best into our lives. If this content resonated with you, don't forget to like the video and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And if you are truly committed to attracting what you deserve, check out the link in the pinned comment to learn about my ebook, Conquer Procrastination with Stoic Philosophy. In it, I delve into the secret techniques that the ancient Stoic philosophers used to keep their focus always at a high level. Shall we go together on this path of evolution? Leave your comment below and tell me what's going on in your life and how Stoicism is helping you. I will change, and you